Priva.
This man right here. Okay, here.
You're running that.
Welcome to Fourth and Average. I'm your host, Chris. I'm joined with, go ahead, guys, introduce yourself.
Oh, Cody, you go ahead. Hold on.
What's going on, guys? It's Cody. Weekly host, except for some weeks. Same with Prevo.
Weekly, but not weekly. You know what I
Weekly, but not
mean?
hourly
Yeah.
host.
Yeah, we're smart like that.
The hourly host.
What's
Uh,
up? It's Jay Dizzle, aka Prevo, back at it again.
Dizzle.
Up here in
Back
the
at it
top right
again.
corner,
the unsolicited takes as always.
ready to say things tonight.
Say things. All right, so I think we're gonna get started with just game preview, some predictions, some. I would like to talk about some prop bets. I think we can definitely go over that. I think the uh, probably the funnest one to talk about would be the what color the Gatorade's going to be or whatever is going to be splashed on the coach at the end. But we'll get to that. Um, Anybody want to start us off? I think. I mean, it's the Chiefs. I'm almost thinking three-peat is in the air, and that's going to happen. But anybody want to go with whatever they have fresh on their mind?
So, I mean, Moet for as far as the Eagles winning the game, it kind of goes with the game script with one of my prop bets that I have, and it's Saquon longest rush over
Mm.
23 and a half yards. It genuinely just takes one from Saquon to break it on the outside that I think he would be able to hit that number. So that was one that I saw that I just went ahead and jumped on.
Even though Spags is probably got his defense reared and ready to go. As far as that, I mean, we know who
This
Spags
will
is.
definitely be the toughest defense I think the Eagles have faced potentially all year. But I think one thing also that a lot of people aren't taking into account is that they're missing probably one of the biggest pieces from the last time these two teams faced, and that's L'Jarius Sneed. He's
Mm,
one of the better nickel corners who would be able to actually hold the outside. Now we'll
mm.
see if Leo Chenal, Nick Bolton in the linebacker position could potentially do something as well. So
Well, did y'all also hear what's going around in the Eagles locker room right now? You heard
Yeah,
that? Okay, I know.
yeah.
So,
I have
Cody has.
not.
Go ahead, Prevo. Why don't you enlighten them? Because it
Well,
sounds like
first of all, I would just like to say we all know what happens when goats have flu games.
okay. There.
I
Okay.
would love to
Okay.
see
Okay.
I would love to see the story play out the way that it has in the past, and I would love to see the Eagles fly away from this one with a dub.
I think so. Basically, going with that, Cody, there's like some type of virus where everyone's like puking their guts out and stuff in the locker room. It might be the flu
Oh,
A, it might
good.
be the Nora virus or whatever. That's
Yeah,
like
I think
the
it's more of like that. That just
yeah,
sucks.
yeah, exactly. It's just stomach cramps and puking and crapping yourself all day long. But um, Jalen Carter has it, or at least had it. So that's been a thing. That was announced either this morning or last night or something like that. So at the very least, people are going to be dehydrated. I mean, we're talking about the NFL here.
So they're
It's
going to
not
be pumping IVs on the sideline the whole game.
exactly. It's going to be
And
an IV game.
CJGJ has it too.
Yes, that's right. Some big names. So I think hopefully that doesn't if they want a chance, Jalen Carter has got to be in. Jalen Carter has got to be in and create havoc against Patrick Mahomes because that's the only way the Eagles I think are winning because I think Spags is going to come out ready to go against Saquon and I think they're going to gamble. It's kind of like this is what I think. You know, you're playing pickup basketball and there's this guy that he's not doing anything else but shooting like Curry range. You're gonna let him shoot that until he starts proving himself. So I
Yeah.
think Spags is gonna do that with Jalen Hurts as far as like, you know what, we're gonna play the run literally all game. We're gonna stack seven or more, no less than seven, probably no less than eight in the box. And if Jalen Hurts wants to show up, then he shows up, and that's how the Eagles win. But I just think
Yeah,
it's
they're
going to
not
be
letting him win with 180 passing yards. Like they're not letting him do that.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah, I
absolutely
think
not.
I think we'll see him get out of the pocket a lot on third down too, because they're gonna have to commit to that pass. If they're stopping the run, third down comes, they're gonna have to pass. I can see him run it a lot. I've even got that written down. Like either rushing attempts or rushing yards for Jalen Hurts, I think is a good thing to at least look at.
I do. I saw something where somebody had Travis Kelsey anytime, Jalen Hurts anytime, Saquon anytime, and Kareem Hunt anytime. So
I've heard
that's
a
just
lot
kind
of
of
Kareem Hunt talk, and every time they start talking Kareem Hunt talk, he's Dude,
It goes to Pacheco, basically, is what
yeah,
it is. Like
But
everything
Pacheco
else.
really hasn't done as much, I feel like, over the past month.
nothing.
They've been
He
doing
hasn't.
more of like a 50-50 split, I
Well, how
feel
many
like.
rushing
So,
touchdowns did Pat Mahomes have in the AFC Championship? Like it didn't even go to
yeah.
Kareem. Like he would just pull it down. I think he had two. I mean, and then some were passing or whatever. But I mean, it wasn't. Kareem Hunt's going to be interesting. Again, I agree with Prevo. It's kind of like you start throwing that name around, and it's almost like they don't want to go to him. It's almost like Andy Reid is listening to these guys, and it's like, all right, well, we're not going to do that then. So who knows? Andy Reid's a mastermind. It's going to be a bunch of good players and a bunch of good coaches going up against each other, and that's what the Super Bowl is supposed to be. Um, my prediction, though, if we want to really get down to it, like I said, I'm smelling three-peat in the air. I This wasn't the Super Bowl I don't think anybody wanted. I think
Rainbow.
that we yeah, yeah. So I really hate that prediction because it's like, oh, if the Eagles win, ugh, the Eagles win. But if the Chiefs win, ugh, the Chiefs win. But it's a
Yeah.
three-peat. But if the Chiefs win, at least we'll get to see Travis propose to Taylor on the field after the Chiefs win. And I can't wait to just throw my remote through a TV. So yeah, but that's about it. That's how I feel.
Well,
So,
anyway, moving on from the Housewives of Kansas City show. I
Well,
do think,
what's your prediction, Prevo? I don't
dude,
think we heard yours
I
yet.
don't
he
think,
said
well, first of all, I think it's going to be very close the entire game. I think
I
high
it's,
scoring
agree.
and low scoring.
I think it's going to be low. And I also think it's going to be a defensive break that ends up giving whoever team that wins the edge. I think it's going to be a turnover that changes the path of the game.
It's going to take that one play.
Like
Yeah,
that
Yes,
I
one
can
I
lucky
see
think
that.
bounce.
so. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna be like a missed field goal or which I know isn't a defensive play, but you get my point. It's not gonna be a
Yeah,
conventional
yeah,
offense
yeah.
beating offense.
Yeah,
Unless
I
maybe
yeah.
think we'll
things
be
are
able to
double.
learn the game script pretty quickly in this game. I feel like by the first quarter, we'll be able to kind of dictate how this game is going to be played out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think it's also interesting too, because the Super Bowl is so different than any other game that's
Mhm.
played throughout the year, even the championship games, because it's hard for both offenses to get into a rhythm because of the commercial breaks, because of how long halftime is, because of how long it is between all these different quarters. Whatever they do, whatever they can do, or the NFL can do to get revenue from these commercials. So, I mean, Pat Mahomes has been there. I mean, Jalen Hurts has been there. Both these teams, a lot of players have been there before, obviously, especially on the Chiefs. So it's kind of they know what to expect. So that part of me is kind of holding out hope that the over, kind of hits, just making an interesting game.
I would
Knowing
love to
that it's
see
like,
a
okay,
Chiefs and
we
Eagles over. I think that would be awesome.
Yeah, well, I mean, the last time they played 38-35, the Chiefs roster, I will say, has probably gotten significantly worse, even though they ended the season 16-1.
better,
Or,
and then
yeah,
yeah,
with a better
right,
record.
right.
But the Eagles still, for the most part, have all the firepower, plus they got
Well,
stronger with
they
Saquon in the
reloaded.
backfield.
They had a bunch of veterans that were just very, very good and took their time rebuilding from that Super Bowl to this one, and now they have. I mean, the Eagles are going to be here for a while, and that's what the cool thing about the Eagles. So, I don't know. I think I'm. I don't really even know who I'm cheering for. I'm going to be completely honest. I
I'm
think
cheering
it's
for
going
the
to be one of those
I'm
games
cheering
where,
for my bets to hit.
yeah,
That's probably going to be the main thing.
yeah, I would probably agree with that. I think if this was like Buffalo against the Eagles, we're definitely cheering for Buffalo.
Oh, gosh, yes.
Detroit against the Chiefs, definitely the Chiefs, or the definitely Chiefs, definitely the Lions.
Sir.
Yeah, I know. But yeah, this is just kind of. Oh well, I think it's the two best teams though, and that's the only thing you can say. I think it is the very much the two best teams in football. So,
Yeah, the Eagles
but
surprised me. If you would have asked me like week 8 or something, like, do you think the Eagles are going to the Super Bowl? I'd have been like, mm-mm. It's like,
I
No.
would have said NFC Championship. I didn't think Super Bowl,
yeah,
but
that
after
too. Yeah.
yeah,
Well,
after week 3, are they making the playoffs? Like, is this gonna, you know what I mean? Is this gonna be?
I just didn't see it.
Yeah, I mean, week 3 is early, but they did not look. I mean, that's two totally different teams from week 3, week 2 time to now,
Yeah.
obviously. But yeah,
Dude,
yeah,
I just
I don't
wish
know.
Josh Rice was there.
He's trying, man. He's trying to get there as fast as he can. Just to.
Okay.
Anyway, it's okay. He's still behind all the Georgia football players. So anyway,
Right.
we'll get to I think next on our list we're gonna do. I mean, unless y'all have anything else to talk about,
I
I think it's
do
a
I do
tough.
want to add before we move on from the bets. I know this is like, fall asleep on me, whatever. AJ Brown receptions, I like it a lot. I think
Okay.
it's always something that's going to be there. The only thing that's kind of like is, Devontae Smith is
Well,
also there.
what's
The
the
attention,
lines?
couldn't tell you, but I'm
Okay.
probably still
Yeah.
going to bet it.
All right,
Okay.
I'm just talking about like what's coming to my mind.
Oh, got you.
Um,
Okay. Okay. Okay.
so I actually have
Also,
one written down here that I want to hear Prevo's opinion on
okay,
potentially. So I have over 3.5 total number of players to have a rush attempt for the Eagles at plus odds. So you're already looking at Saquon and Jalen.
yeah,
I feel like at some point Kenneth Gainwell is going to get a carry just
Absolutely.
to allow Saquon to get a rest.
yeah.
And then
Absolutely.
that just leaves you a potential end around with Dallas Goedert, which they have done in the playoffs already, AJ Brown potentially, or Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I mean, I think Devontae Smith would be like that fourth option. And I actually have on here, I think we're going to see a lot more of Gainwell. I think they kind of experiment. I know Saquon had that calf discomfort or whatever last game, and that's why he was in there more so than usual. But it worked enough, and they were comfortable having him in. Like they gave Saquon that extra rest versus getting him right back on the field. And I feel like maybe just to throw somebody off, they're going to have him in a little bit more than usual.
I think we're going to see a gimmick play too, where they're going to get Shipley involved because I totally forgot they had Shipley from
Yeah,
Clemson.
yeah.
I feel like that could be
I can
also
see
a
that, yeah.
possibility. It's the Super Bowl. Like, yeah, I mean, literally empty.
All the cards are being laid out on the table this game.
Throw
So
everything, including the kitchen sink, is what's happening.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of these crazy prop bets hitting. Actually, I do want to do final predictions. What color do you think?
Orange.
The orange. Okay,
it depends
Cody.
on the team. Chiefs, I don't know why. I just feel like it's going to be red. If it's the Eagles, I feel like they're going to take the purple from the Chiefs last time, so that way it's theirs.
So
Or it
you want
could
to
be
hear
green.
mine? Mine
I'm
is
going
interesting.
Eagles orange.
Eagles orange.
Yeah.
I'm going no
Parlay.
matter which team.
Okay.
Clear, clear, and I'll tell you why. Because we're in
The
this weird,
crystal, or
like,
what is it? Glacier
Oh,
freeze.
like you're
maybe
you're
even
you're
glacier, or maybe
combating.
it's like
You're just
liquid
playing
IV.
Vegas.
Well, I'm exactly
Yeah.
because when you look at it and you think about the culture of the NFL now, it's no longer sugary drinks and everything on the sideline. They got like liquid IVs. They got a lot more like waters, like
The
with
body
electro.
armors.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm thinking it's going to be some high electrolyte drink that doesn't have sugar and it's clear, like one of those healthier ones, and that's what's going to get dumped. I think it's going to be clear liquid. We'll see. So we got Cody is red, right, for the
Red for the
Chiefs,
Chiefs. Yeah.
and then Prevo is orange for the Eagles.
Yeah.
Same for the Chiefs, or do you want
I
to throw
just
out
I
one?
just think it's gonna be orange, to be honest.
Orange to be,
Yeah, I was about
yeah,
to say,
okay,
but
okay.
also, yeah, to be clear, my actual prediction, I do believe the Eagles are going to win this game, personally.
Interesting.
God, I hope so. I hope so. I don't
It's
know how
just,
they could
it's
on the
coming
next
down to, I
episode
feel
of
like
NFL Housewives, but still, I
this is
just
one of the most balanced defenses I feel like I can say I've seen in a long time to where they don't feel the need to do these exotic blitz packages. They can just rush the forefront, and that allows everyone else to drop into coverage. And I think that that is something that can play against Patrick Mahomes in this game.
right.
Yeah, I hope that's what happens, but then again, coaches sometimes don't think like us, even though, yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway,
How could they
um,
not?
well, yeah, well, that's kind of what we were talking about with the Bills and Chiefs. Is like I'm sitting there, I'm like, they're literally beating you because you have been running man 80% of the game, and they've been beating it that every single time you run man. So it's like it just depends on how I think stubborn a coordinator is. I think is a good way to put it. Are
Yeah,
you willing to change it up, or are you going to keep sticking to it?
Yeah, you
So,
guys, yep,
fair enough.
that's it.
but
Last point. Samaje Perine, I think, sees volume. I think he sees volume.
P Ryan sees some volume. He hasn't
No
seen volume.
follow-up questions allowed.
Novelty bet, Tom Brady tie black 12 to 1 odds. There you go.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Anyway,
Is that real?
Yeah, that's an actual bet. It's 3 to
dude,
1 for blue, 12 to 1 for black.
yeah, black, absolutely black. He's definitely gonna be wearing black.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a Raiders minority owner. He's gonna
Yeah,
represent. He's not
exactly.
gonna.
Yep. You got
Yeah,
to read
that's
between the tea leaves.
there ain't no way he's wearing blue. All right, that's a good one. I like that. All right, top five wide receivers of all time. Now, we all know how the running back list went. It was very interesting. And let's flip it up. Let's flip it up. Switch it up. We'll start at 5 and go to 1. I
Oh,
think that's the best way to do a list.
okay.
I feel like this is the one time where I feel like 1 is going to be even more consensus than before. So I feel like we should start at 1 because there's going to be no.
Okay.
Dude,
I was about to say maybe for me and Cody, but we have the
dude,
wild
well,
card
I
pre-vote.
just like I want to come out and say that I am not making a people's choice list. I will say that every one of my 5 are on the People's Choice top 10. They're on the numbers board top 10. I will at least
Okay,
say that.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
But like, I'm not here to be like, oh, you're not, screw you. Okay. These are my most, in my opinion, the coolest top 5 wide receivers to me.
Okay. No,
Coolest
that's
to
Okay.
me. The
You know what?
most
That's
impressive
fair.
to me.
Okay.
yeah, that's
I respect it.
respectful.
I respect the thought
You
process.
know what? And you know what? Leading off with that pre-vote, what's your number 5?
Okay. All right. For 5, I have Chris Carter, the magician. The magician.
Dude,
It's sick, dude. The way that he makes and magical catch look like he did it in practice 45 times before the game is I gotta really watch my mouth here. I'm done. That's why I keep like stuttering. But anyway, Chris Carter, number 5. I like it. Assume it.
okay, I like it. I like
All
it.
right.
All right, Cody, go ahead.
Number 5, I got Mr. Larry Fitzgerald, the photographer.
Hmm.
Wow,
The
number
number
5.
number 2 all time in receiving yards. Just everyone else that I looked at, he was behind on the touchdown catches. So
Yeah,
he
but that wasn't like his
that
thing.
wasn't his forte. He was just Mr. Reliable at all times.
Yeah, he was like, "Huh?" You know what I mean? Like,
He said Larry's
I
down there
don't know.
somewhere.
Yeah, exactly. And he had
Uh,
21 quarterbacks, bro.
yeah, for real though.
Like, that's
I,
crazy.
all right. This is I'm gonna have to explain mine because I think Cody is even gonna Prevo will definitely disagree with me. Cody's probably gonna see it, but also he's gonna definitely see it. So number 5, Steve Smith Sr.
I knew it was.
Dude,
I knew you
No,
were gonna do it
listen,
just
listen.
purely off
I
the
wanted to put him on
timing.
my list just for you. I'm not
This
gonna lie.
man is 5'9". This man is a triple crown winner at 5'9". This man is a triple crown winner in 2005 when the Panthers ran the ball
Off the back of a
more.
torn ACL.
Yes, when they ran the ball more than they passed it that season, and he still led the league in touchdowns, receptions, and yards, all receiving. Okay. Also, this man, the amount of all pros, the amount of times also that the Panthers never had an actual number 2 threat of a wide receiver while Steve Smith was there throughout his majority of his career, to where he was facing number 1 defensive backs on the other team week in and week out and making them look absolutely dumb. Like that. And that man was a voice.
He
That
was
man,
bullying them,
exactly.
like legitimately
One of my
bullying
favorite
them.
memories of all time is the game against the Saints, where he caught it, about the 30-yard line, stiff armed the dude down,
Malcolm
just ran it
Jenkins.
to the
Yeah.
corner, and then as he gets into the corner of the end zone, the dude just tries to
Roman
blow him up,
Harper. Yep.
throws it on the ground, smacks his helmet, then proceeds to just say, "All right, now it's time for
Now it's
business."
time to fight. I'm going to celebrate
I
my
know. I
touchdown.
actually
Said
know
that was
exactly what
his
you're talking
mentality
about.
all the time on the field. So
But
I
also,
respect it. I respect it.
and it's not just like those seasons and everything, and the fact that he's 5'9". He's number 8 all time in receptions. He's number 12 all time in receiving yards. Or number 8 in receiving yards, number 12 in receptions. Like he's in the top 15 for almost every single category, and we're seeing guys get into the Hall of Fame for less than that. You know what I mean? Like, so that's why he's my number 5. I think those stats are all, if he is 6'1" or 2, I mean, holy cow, and still had that same talent. Where is his numbers? So that's just my thing. But that's why he's number
He's
5.
probably one of my like personal all time favorites.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I would agree with that. I literally,
Yeah.
like I said earlier, I wanted to
So
put him
as
on
a hearing
just
this
for
from a
you.
Saints fan,
Yeah. Like
Yeah.
shows you
everyone
how
knows.
dominant he was.
I
Yeah,
literally
exactly.
just saw the clip that you mentioned, Cody, the other day on like like it was in the slideshow with like the Vikings miracle and the no call. It was on the same
Yeah.
slideshow of like the worst Saints moments ever. Like
Yeah.
watched
Steve Smith taking on all of the Saints at once.
Yeah.
Like just
I'm like watching it over and over again. Just the high
yeah.
step stiff arm. It sucks. But
Yeah.
anyway,
But that's my number 5. So I feel like I justified it enough. I mean, yes, obviously bias pool also gonna throw my hand up there, but I mean that's number 5 for me. Okay, go ahead, Prevo. Back to you.
oh, did you already give your 5? Oh yeah, Larry. All right, yeah. All right. So
All right, we're off to a good start.
my 4 is Marvin Harrison Sr. And I put him at
Mm-hmm.
4 because he had Peyton Manning as quarterback. So like he'll take 4. But 5th all-time receptions, 5th in receiving TDs. Like, it speaks for himself. And
Yeah,
his seed is gonna be I think a Hall of Famer as well.
maybe we'll see. He's got to get a better quarterback.
He has
That's
to
my
get
opinion.
out of Arizona, I think.
Yeah, I think so
Or at
too.
least get thrown the ball. But
Or
like
maybe
Yeah,
come
whenever you're wide
to.
open in the red zone. I don't know.
That's why I'm saying I don't like Kyler Murray. That's a whole different episode.
yeah,
So
dude. Like
that's off.
it's
That'll be off season episode talk.
Marvin's doing booty cheeks naked backflips in the red zone, and Tyler's running around. Ooh.
He's got the Norwegian alligator back there.
Can't see me. Can't see me.
Bobby,
Oh, you
look!
almost
Bobby,
had
look! Dude, that's what he looks like.
He looks like when my toddler comes running into the room and he's like, "Daddy, Daddy, look at this!"
Dude,
and
yeah,
he runs
it's like
away. He
walked
runs
up-
like the same way. He runs the same
So
way.
he walks up to the center, takes the ball, and like starts running away from him. He's like,
Holy cow! No, definitely, that's a good one. That's a good one. All right, Cody, go ahead.
It's Marvin Harrison Sr.
oh, let's go.
at
Okay.
number 4. Yeah, 128 touchdowns, 8-time Pro Bowler. Dude, like you had said, was Peyton's number 1. If you're the number 1 for one of the best quarterbacks of all time, I feel like your name is on this list somewhere.
This is gonna be very chalky and Marvin Harrison Sr.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
We
like,
did not talk about this
No, we
beforehand,
did
by
not.
the way.
No.
it's all the same
Trust
reasons.
me, dude. They did not want to hear my list before
No.
we started recording this, bro.
Literally, that was Marvin Harrison Sr. It's all the same reasons. I mean, when one of the greatest, not the, but one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time relies on you year in and year out, and you just keep making those catches, and you just, I mean, integral part of the Colts winning their Super Bowl against the Bears and everything. Great wide receiver, top 5 all time. So that's mine. Make it simple there. All right, back to Prevo.
All right, I'll go Calvin Johnson, and I do that.
Whoa. Whoa. Okay. Go ahead.
I do that because he only played 9 seasons. And like he just balled out. I mean, there's nothing else to say.
He had the greatest single receiving yard season in NFL history.
Right. And not only that, but he was like one of the most entertaining wide receivers to watch.
There's
one of the worst teams that we have ever witnessed.
That's what, yeah, it's like all-star Sean. All-star Sean.
I mean, there's clips out there where goal line situations teams put 3 guys on them. Not 2, 3.
Mm-hmm.
3 guys on cat. Like
it didn't matter.
Yeah, which is, again, I get it. The knock on him is the only 9, but
and that's why he's below who my number 2 is, which the number 2 is like whatever. But like, I don't know. I think because of the 9 seasons, he goes below my number 2.
Okay.
All right.
Go ahead,
number
Cody.
3 got Terrell Owens.
Okay.
See, I didn't put him on my list, bro. Screw that. I'm not here to go to the library.
Forgot the generational gap right now.
Yeah.
153 touchdowns. He was another one of those just contested catch, just ball hawks. And he was our diva, I feel like, for our generation. How like now you have so many more of them with Tyreek Hill, you have George Pickens, AJ Brown reading the book on the sideline.
Yeah.
Terrell Owens was the diva of that time. That's my quarterback.
All right, I know what the title of this video is going to be.
Top 5 divas.
Diva? Question mark?
I like that. I think Man, T.O. is one of those. Like, I have a solid top three. Like, my top three is never changing on who's in the top three. Maybe the order,
Number
excluding
three
number
for me, I
one.
feel like can always be
Yeah,
interchangeable. For me,
like
one and
I'll
two are my one and two sets.
like
So
I'll go ahead and say T.O. could easily be my number five. It's just I wanted to put Steve Smith in here because I'm a little salty about the Hall of Fame the other night, but
yeah,
that's neither here nor
understandable.
there. But T.O. would
Well,
be
it
an
sounds like it's here and there to you, but it's fine.
how it is. But
Yeah.
but number three for me, dude. There's so many that could go here, but I think it's I'd have to put Randy Moss at number three.
Oh God.
So the reason why he's number three and not top
Why don't you
two,
just go
like,
shoot him?
so the reason why is because he was so good with the
Take him
Vikings.
out back.
I
Yeah,
mean,
dude. I mean,
so good with the Vikings,
curb
incredible.
stomp him.
But but if you really are number one or number two of all time, I mean, this is like you got it like that of all time. You can't have a couple down years all of a sudden, even if you don't have a quarterback when you leave the Vikings. And when you know what I mean, and you go to the Raiders, and it's kind of you're supposed to go there to make a difference, make your quarterback better, like kind of like how my number two and one are, in a way. But the way he was able to bounce back and then have one of the greatest seasons of all time, but he's paired with Tom Brady and he's run with the Patriots was absolutely incredible. And how long he was able to do it afterwards, I'm glad he found it back because that was a question floating around. Prevo, you weren't uh, old enough to remember this, but there was questions being thrown around like, is Randy Moss done? Like, and he wasn't even like,
He was traded for what, a third round pick, I believe.
yeah, like he was nothing with the Raiders and the Patriots. Like they were taking a chance on him. That's how they were talking about Randy Moss. You never really heard that, like with one and two of what I'm listening. Now, again, depending on the day, he could be my number two, but he is always, always, always in my top three and will never slip out of my top three. That's the respect I still give him, if that makes
I mean,
sense.
yeah, I can't say anything. I mean, just wait, but I can't say anything about like what you said. Like that, I mean, that's all like hand up great points. Like that is all like very agreeable.
Yeah, I mean, that's just how it's kind of like the same point with Calvin Johnson as far as what you were saying. Like he was only 9 seasons and everything, but like Randy Moss should have been like that every year. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? And he just didn't after
Mhm.
he left the Vikings. But he found it again. But that's just again, that's my number three. I'll leave it at that. So Primo, back to you.
All right. So Larry Fitzgerald is my number two.
Okay.
And
Okay.
I did that because 11 Pro Bowls. What did he play? 17 seasons or something like that? Or 19 seasons or something
A crazy
crazy?
amount,
Yeah,
something
something
that's
crazy.
ridiculous
But
for a wide receiver.
I think well, I don't think I'm like
Jerry Rice
but
numbers for a wide receiver, to be honest, for the amount of seasons. But
left second in all-time yards, 6 all-time touchdown catches, and what is it? 10 touchdowns in the playoffs. It's like second most or like most or something.
not in a playoff run.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
you
That's what I
said,
mean.
yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Okay, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah. And average 104 yards per game in the playoffs as well.
Crazy. Yeah,
Like
crazy.
that's
Wild.
awesome, dude. And along with that, you remember what I said before I made my list. The entertainment factor from Larry Fitzgerald is there as well.
Yeah, yeah. I'd agree. I would agree, especially that NFC divisional right before they got their tails beat by the Panthers in the championship. That run by
Right.
Larry, that was crazy. But um, yeah, that's a good one. I think I'll just comment real quick, and I now actually, I'll save it. We'll do honorable mentions at the end. So, all right, Cody.
All right. Well, off of what you had just said, my number two is Randy Moss.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
Um,
I like where this is going then.
yeah.
so the main reason why I felt like the need to put Randy at number two is he is part of one of the greatest wide receiver duos that we had ever seen in the league with him and
Mhm.
Chris
Agree.
Carter. That was an electric offense with them in Minnesota. He was the focal point of what is, in my opinion, to this day, the greatest offense that we have ever seen with that 2007 Patriots. It is the all-time leading fantasy point season. And to this day, kids who were born after he retired knows the phrase what it means to get
No,
mossed.
don't take that from me, bro.
These kids never saw him play live, and they know what it means to get mossed. So he left a cultural impact on the game that very few of these other guys have, and that's why I had to put him at two.
And that's why he'll never leave my top three. Just
I
again,
love
throwing that
that.
point out there.
I'd shed a
Um,
tear for that, bro. That's
yeah, that was
amazing.
good. Number two, Megatron. Absolutely, Megatron.
Megatroid Skittles.
I like
So,
it.
but the reason why, I mean, yeah, he's got the. I think he would have been the greatest of all time.
I
I
agree.
think we all know where everyone's number one is going. But if he,
2023 Adam Thielen.
Yeah, dude. I
oh
like
yeah,
that's
like
another thing. Like I didn't want
right,
to.
we can fly through our number one pick, and
Yeah.
I will actually just say mine, and we can just
Everyone knows.
correct. Yeah, I
It's
think
behind Prevo. Like, it's the dead giveaway.
Oh yeah.
dude, I don't know. I was more of a Marcus Colston fan, but sure, I guess. But no, I mean Megatron, the 9 season that he did, it was like he was the best, in my opinion, the best wide receiver pound for pound in the entire league every single season. That's why it was such a surprise when he retired. And I get why he retired. And I can't knock him for that because I immediately become hypocritical because
Exactly. As a Panthers fan with
as
Luke
a Panthers fan,
Kuechly. Yeah.
Cody, you're literally in my mind. Like
Yeah.
that is exactly what I was about to say. I can't be hypocritical about that because, in my opinion, Luke Kuechly is a first ballot Hall of Famer, and I think he is on a lot of people's list. As far as linebackers go. So when you put a wide receiver there, and his name is Megatron, and this man was 6'5", 6'6", 235 pounds of just pure muscle, and could also outrace you. Are you kidding me? Like that, I mean, incredible numbers. It just sucks that they did never put together a defense or got him and Matthew Stafford any other weapons, because Matthew Stafford was a good quarterback that entire time with Detroit. And I'm glad that Calvin at least had him, but man, they could have done something special if they would have had at least one more weapon on the offensive side and a good defense. They could have been a pretty special duo. But just dominance, pure dominance. Calvin Johnson, number two. My number one is Jerry Rice for every single reason that goes with every single receiver on this list, because Jerry Rice is the culmination of every single great wide receiver, because he is the GOAT, the best of all time. So go ahead, Prebo. I bet.
Yeah, so we did a 3-2-1 with the Randy Moss. I wanted Randy Moss at my one. I've also been following ever since he got diagnosed with the cancer. I've been following him very close. So like he's been
Yes,
on my
yes.
mind a lot recently. But anyway, yeah, like Cody said, it's our kids are going to be saying Kobe when they throw something into the trash can. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
But
and it's the same.
BJ
Yeah,
came and went.
yeah,
The get mossed will not go. Like that's
yeah,
gonna be there. You know what I mean? So that was cool. That
yes.
is cool. And then also 17 touchdowns in a rookie season is super awesome.
What was
God,
that one
dude,
game he had
I'm
three
still
three catches, 280 something yards and 3 touchdowns or something like that? It was like
just
Okay,
dominant.
one, I don't think that is physically possible.
no, not the receiving yards. I just remember it was something
It
three
was
like
like three catches, like 100.
198. It was
Yeah.
198 is what it was. 3 catches, 198 yards, and 3 touchdowns. Crazy.
The man's running the length of the football field
I
three
know every
times to
time.
get that
Quick
few
screen
yards.
from the one.
But no, I
That's
love
good.
him. He's my goat. Randy Moss is my number one for sure.
Well, mine's
Wow.
same
So
as Chris. I feel like it has to be Jerry Rice, like only receiver to ever top 20,000 yards. Um, I actually just looked it up. In 1987, when they only played 12 games, he
this is
had
crazy.
22 touchdowns
Crazy.
Yeah.
in
Crazy.
12 games.
Absolute.
Like, how is
Father
this
receiving.
allowed?
That's almost two
He finished
touchdowns a
second
game.
in MVP voting as a wide receiver.
That never happens, dude, because it always goes to the quarterback. Like if you're throwing those, and Jerry Rice is like, "Yeah, but watch this."
He
Dude,
said,
that's
"Hold my
crazy.
ring."
So Prevo, basically looking back on it, let's comment on these lists. So because you wanted Randy Moss number one all time, Jerry Rice did not make it in the top five, is what I was hearing from your
Well, no,
list.
no, no, no. Like what I'm saying, like I said it previously, like T.O.'s not on my list. Jerry Rice is not on my list because you could ask the three blind mice who the greatest wide receivers of all time are, and
I
they're
see
going
what
to
you're
say
doing.
both of those names. Like
So
that's my
now
point.
after your list, and so that explanation, and now after we hear your list, it actually makes so much more
Yeah,
sense
like
than we
that's
were.
like
Yeah,
I came here to do my favorite five wide receivers of all time by
that's
all.
kind of like Steve Smith for me, like
Yeah,
getting
dude.
in the
I'm
number
picking
Yeah.
five.
out of the top 10, but they're my top five. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
like in reality, Steve Smith is in like top, like probably number 15.
I was gonna
You
say
know what I
top
mean?
15. Yeah, I was
Yeah.
gonna say
Yeah.
top
So
15.
I mean, and going along with that, To's in there. He's an honorable mention. Larry Fitzgerald, of course, we all know how good Larry Fitzgerald
Right,
is, and plus he just retired. Even there's kids out there that still know who Larry is.
right.
So his name's gonna live on for a while. I even liked. I wish he didn't fall off as much and have kind of a weird off the field thing going on, but like Chad Johnson, Chad Ochocinco, whatever, like he
Hmm.
was always really dominant.
Yeah, that was a thought
Um,
for me as well.
Torrey Holt, like
Reggie Wayne, the other,
Reggie,
Mm.
probably
yeah,
the
he's
best, one of the best number twos in NFL history,
ever, yeah.
and number one on almost every other team.
Literally, he would have been
Yeah.
probably on
Yeah.
28 teams. He would have been the number
Like
one
I
receiver.
believe him and Marvin are the only duo in NFL history in the top 10
I
in
think so
receiving
too.
yards.
So like, yeah, I mean, this list, guys, when you comment your list. Like everyone's list is going to be different. It's going to be interesting. I think, between the three, mega. This is just where I am kind of like in. You ask the three blind mice. It's like they're gonna have some trouble though if you only give them three names and list them 1, 2, 3 with Megatron, Randy Moss, and Jerry Rice. I think Jerry. I mean, comment it down if you're watching. I'd be interested to see those rankings, see if some of y'all are starting to put Randy Moss over Jerry Rice, and that could be a time thing. That over time, like Moss, I mean, yeah, he's been retired now for a while, but he still was tearing it up and is on Tom Brady highlight tapes. Kids are watching Tom Brady highlight tapes still. So, I don't know. I think it's going to be interesting. See what only time can tell. But that was a pretty good list. That was a pretty good list, boys. Proud of us. But anything else that
Okay, actually just breaking news. Lakers say Dalton Connect Mark Williams trade has been rescinded after Hornets failed to satisfy condition of the deal.
Dude,
are you joking?
dude, no. Connect was finally gonna be where he belonged.
Just popped up on my phone.
We were finally going to get rid of the soft man.
And
It's
Connect
completely
finally
off base with the podcast, but
in the
What
landfill.
it just popped up.
what condition though?
That's what we're
Probably
probably
has to
gonna
do with
find out.
money.
All right, guys, we're figuring this out for the listeners real quick.
Breaking news. While we're waiting on this breaking news, when did Cody get the Dyson headphones?
What? Corsair?
Dude,
Corsair
when
not sponsored?
you like look
That's
down
not-
to read like your two or number one, and I was like, good God, those are some units, bro.
You see Cody's head
Dude,
slowly
they gotta
throughout the
have
podcast,
subwoofers
just
in them
like
things, bro.
you see him just kind of like,
Bro,
oh
I
shit.
got the memory foam pads, bro. I'm locked in with
Yo,
these.
Cody, what's on your ceiling?
Chair flips.
So,
Oh, well, that sucks. Dang, I was really gonna like the pairing of LaMelo, Connect, Brandon Miller, Miles Bridges, and
Yo,
then
did you see
Cooper Flag because we got a tank for Cooper Flag.
did you see LaMelo toss that corner three pass? I think it was Miles Bridges to hit the game winning three, and the
Dude, it
announcer
was.
goes, Miles Bridges from the corner. Whoa.
I did see that. I did see that. Dude, the thing is though, that's wild about LaMelo and how. Real quick, again, we all don't like the NBA. Like it's kind of an annoying product now. Like,
yeah.
but I love how LaMelo, just as a Hornets fan, and that's the only basketball I will watch, and that's usually I will have to go to a game to watch it. I'm not looking for it, but yeah, I like that it's kind of proving what we were originally thinking about LaMelo all those years ago when he was drafted, about like he's going to be a ball hog. He doesn't like he's like too flashy with it. He's not going to be the guy that he is. And we were down by 2, and that man had it. I mean, like LaMelo can make very easily contested layups. Like he is so good around the rim because he's so lanky and tall too. He had that for the top. Like he was making that to tie the game. But for him to come out of that, fake it, and then at the last second pass it off, how unself to not even like now Miles can hit a corner three, but not even one of our better 3-point shooters on the court. And that man is to pass it to him for the game winner. I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that just shows that like LaMelo is going to be. I'm glad we signed him to a supermax because he's going to be averaging like 25, 10, and 8 throughout his career, and it's going to be great.
Yeah. So, long story short, looks like he didn't pass a physical.
Mark Williams, no, of course he didn't. This man's
Yeah.
soft. We've known he wouldn't pass any physical. Gosh, I'm not surprised, dude. He's so
Yeah.
bad. Did Nurkic go through then?
Yes, that one went through. So now we
So at
have.
least we have a center. I mean,
Yeah.
like,
Well, I mean, we even had I like that kid Musa. So he's
yeah.
actually been playing
Well,
decent, but
I was about to say the French guy. What about the
yeah.
French guy? Holy cow! Yeah, he's been
When Victor Wembanyama, yeah.
no, the French guy we drafted, who drafted number 2 or whatever, number 3. Gosh, like I never heard of the kid, but I mean, my buddy went to go watch him the other night, and he said he played his tail
Oh,
off.
Tijon. Yeah, I like
Yeah, he can
Tijon.
actually shoot too. So it's like he was like it was almost like watching a Giannis with how tall he is in the build, but a Giannis that can shoot.
Funny thing
So,
is that was actually the comp that everyone gave him going into the year that he was being drafted as like his high end. That was like his absolute high end comp.
which dude, pair that with Brandon Miller and LaMelo, I'm taking that all day. We
And
going
Dalton.
and yeah, don't worry,
Prevo's
Primo.
praying to his Lord Rashid.
Don't worry.
He
Don't worry, Primo.
said, "Please catch more touchdowns this year."
Spring training
By
is
the way,
just around the
honorable
corner.
mention wide receiver Rashid Shaheed. Number
I had said
22,
before the
Deuce
show,
Deuce.
honorable mention, Brenton Burson, Wofford
No,
legend.
yeah, yeah. Okay, real quick though, for next episode, are we thinking? Do we know if we want to do quarterbacks or do we want to do we or you know what I mean? Rip the band-aid off because I think that's going to be our biggest list, our most important one.
I think we go quarterbacks and then
Okay,
switch to the defensive side of the ball, and then
I
we can
like
get
it.
some
Linebackers,
good names in
DNs.
there. Yeah, get Prevo in his bag.
Go
See
ahead.
what he can pull out of
I'll
there.
go ahead and say DNs
Yeah.
for Prevo is Cam Jordan #1 all time. So that's going to be Prevo's pick. I can go ahead and tell you that
Marcus
list.
Davenport, number 2.
Oh, I can also tell you Drew Brees #1 quarterback,
Yeah.
top 5 quarterback of all time.
Dude, yeah. And
Taysom Hill, number 2.
If you
James
put
Winston,
Peyton
number 3.
Manning over Drew Brees,
Eddie Bridgewater, Andy Dalton.
you're just doing this to the NFLPA. Like, pause on that. But seriously, if you put Peyton Manning over Drew Brees, you're riding the NFLPA. You're just riding them.
I apologize to any parents that just witnessed what Prevo did.
Screw your parents. I'll do it for you. Drew Brees got snubbed from everything.
Oh,
He's better than Peyton Manning in every MVP season that Peyton Manning had. Drew Brees
Save
is
it.
better.
Save it.
I'll say it again. I'll say it again.
Save it. Save it.
Oh man.
We're not saying say it. We're saying save it. Save for the show.
No, I'm saying I'll.
He's saying,
I know you.
He's
I know
saying he
you.
will. Yeah, he's gonna.
Don't
say
spoil
it
too much.
Oh God. Well, there's his #1, guys. I think if we just heard him better than Peyton, but that's conversation for next episode. All right, everyone. Good luck on your bets. Good luck on whoever you're cheering for. Whatever we talked about today, good luck on it. And until then.
Yeah, I forgot.
Anyways, until then, boys. Go ahead, Cody.
Where are we?
So long. Stay average.
I'm a swerve in that corner. Woo.